Hi, and welcome to Life Change Community. We're talking about places in life and circumstances that confront us that seem virtually impossible to solve. You look at your resources and you look at the need, impossible. You look at your brain power, you look at your strength, you look at the challenge, you say impossible. Yesterday we talked about financial challenge. Today I'm going to talk about a slightly nuanced section of impossible. In this question, can God really hear and does He answer our prayers? Some people say if there is a God, it's impossible that He's involved in my everyday life. If there is a God, it's impossible that He's paying attention to the minute details of my life. Impossible? I mean, I've had my days when I've wondered if my prayers were hitting the ceiling and bouncing back. And then I've had my days when I've said, wow, that actually has to be God. I'll give an example. I was talking to a friend of mine last week who said, Brad, because of the circumstances in your life and some specific questions you have about your future, this is the person you should probably talk to next. I thought about it, and there are reasons I had some reluctance to have that conversation, but I thought I'd pray about it. And so I asked God, is this something I should do, and is this the person that I should speak with? The next week, early in the morning, I had a conversation with my therapist. We talk about everything. And I brought this topic up. I said, this is the place I'm stuck, and here's a potential person who could be a resource. What do you think? And he said, well, I think you ought to pursue it. I think that's a decision you ought to make, and that's a step that you ought to take. I made up my mind that I probably had some direction or some sense of answer to that prayer. And so I left my therapist's office, and it was early in the morning, and I decided to go to Starbucks and get a cup of coffee to further caffeinate and start my day. And I had just purchased my coffee and turned around, and who was in line but the very person that people had suggested that I talk to. The very answer to prayer that I had sought was standing right next to me. And actually, he and I just had a meeting together today, and it was very helpful and did provide some of the direction that I've been praying about. Is God involved in your life? Absolutely. Is He aware of the details of your life? Yes, He is. Is there a need you have that escapes His notice? No, there isn't. And is there a circumstance in your life that is impossible for Him to involve Himself in and bring positive change? Nothing's impossible with God. Nothing is impossible with God. I want you to remember that as you go through your day and as you face your weekend and the challenges of your life. Feel free to pray with the confidence that God hears, and it's very possible for Him to answer clearly. And that confidence will change your life.